Part 4, Requirement for Perfection. Man has never experienced perfection, having a problem comprehending perfection and with a much greater difficulty struggling in its presence trying to adapt and acclimate, without pursuing a plausible explanation solidifying the origin of perfection. There will never be an acknowledgement and validation of its existence, which is why unless there is an acceptable and measurable word, expounding, rationalizing and clarifying perfection, initiating an entire methodology, praxis and procedures, identifying and defining faith as the enabling force, which without, there can never be a concise trust, belief or perception of perfection, as in the comprehension of a perfect actuality, existence or essence of reality named Jesus, Yahweh or El Shaddai does really exist. This existence cannot be explained, elucidated and rationalized and never proven to be tangible, authentic and indisputable, without faith. Man has to allow himself to be taken on a journey of limitless and boundless restraints without verification or validation, with only faith, enunciating a journey of confirmation certified by the truth. This is a difficult, complex and intricate task for many people, as their beliefs does not allow for perfection, as they believe, none has ever been rendered or depicted as perfect, only a fictional portrayal. Never a true living human has ever walked on this planet. However, these assumptions are erroneous fallacies and delusions, the existent fabulation designed to deceive and misinform for authentication of a lie, not a truth. There is only one man having walked this earth, which was perfect. All others may try, but our Savior was and forever will be the only human able to claim that crown. Are there any needed significant efforts in moving your lips, fingers, or blinking your eyes, except when there is a specific or required effort? I think not. All these are mostly considered, as reflective actions of your thoughts, a no-brainer. Imagine this being with the knowledge, creative energy and force in knowing where the location and actions of everything on this planet and universe. He knows the precise location, the exact GPS, for everything on this planet. When the wind blows the sands of the Sahara Desert of North Africa west, across the Atlantic, beyond the Canary Islands, all the way to Brazil and South America, dispersing sand to the north to the Greater and Lesser Antilles Islands, but knowing the exact location of every grain of sand, as it is scattered on 2 continents and many countries. How can this be possible? It is achieved as we in all things are His creation, being a part of Him, knowing all there is to know regarding its genetic makeup or anatomic structure of all of His creation, thereby allowing placement of every asset in any location to be used advantageously throughout the threshold of its existence. Our genome and analytical structure are known, as well as all our emotions. Man cannot hide physically or emotionally from the Creator, with our awareness being exposed for His thorough knowledge of each of us. Every atom of everything is revealed for His examination. Every cell of a heart beats independently or exhibits rhythmic contractions. The rhythmic contraction of cardiac muscle is regulated by the sinoatrial node of the heart, which serves as the heart's pacemaker. Being the Creator, how or when could there be secrets or undiscovered actions? All must be known, at all times, in order to provide all we need. In this universe, there are no unknowns. All things at all times have an accountability, with all things having a past, a present and a future destiny, with all being known from the beginning. Humans have basic needs, requirements, essentials, for living this life. Maslow theories of needs are pertinent in sustaining mankind. If one of those needs are not met, fully saturated in life, there will be issues in having a harmoniously balanced system. Having all the food you want or need or sleep, but lacking exercise or any of the physiological needs are not enough for sustainability. We need security and safety, love and belonging and social, self-esteem and respect for peer and society, and the need in believing in achievement all we can be, self-actualization. We are emotional creatures unable to survive from sustainment of only food, water and security needs. We require interaction, touching and feeling others, and releasing physical expression of excitement, anger and sadness in comforting the inner feelings of this body. This compels a search of semblance for others resembling this being, providing security and awareness of our identity. Part 5. Enduring the journey. There must be something innate compelling the need to step beyond your boundaries into true freedom, accepting the challenge of life, as it is the only great mystery, trial and conquest, presenting the great guarantee of moving to a greater zenith of inspiration, elevating your stature to the pinnacle of excellence, significance and magnitude, while bringing you to your knees in distress and agony, but is the only road available in meeting your destiny, with all others failing to meet the prerequisites of the journey, never allowing the necessities of this life on full display. However, there must be an ever-present willingness and desire to move forward into an unexplored rim, extenuating cravings and yearning for freedom and opportunity. If not, the doldrums of life will be there keeping you company, as you see wasted prospects and possibilities of what could have been. This is not a request, but a demand for achievement and growth. It is not a verbal or written invitation demanding your entry. It is an intrinsic, unconditional demand to proceed into this life you were born to enter and complete with distinction, expanding a driven character of excellence. The journey is filled with deceptions, perils, and confusion, but it is the only path in discovering the real person of your origin. There are no guarantees, only an agenda of unknowns to be discovered, defeated, and conquered through trials and tribulations. Many will fail and others will forsake the invitation, never initiating the challenge, rebuffing the engagement to launch. Those people will never truly understand this life, never experiencing the unexpected, with all its pitfalls and deceptions, while never fully appreciating the total freedom of this joyous life can convey. In all things there are good and bad, however, sometimes the bad must be revealed in retrieving the good. Nothing worthwhile is given completely. The effort must be displayed in seeking a comprehension and awareness of the expression presented. Things that are free and easy seldom live up to its perceived rewards. An ability that can be mastered in 3 hours will never attain the benefits of one requiring training for 4-year commitment. Things of value requires determination, focus and devotion for those having a desire for achievement, attainment and triumph. We miss so much because some failure to take an extra step of understanding, consideration and potential. Our thinking is diluted by undertaking things heard but not seen, things presumed but not experienced. Our perspective is already fully developed before knowing the total reality of its essence. These are fatal flaws in judgment of some artificial and fallacious views, only centering assessment upon erroneous observation or references. Don't use preconceived notions in establishing a position of truth and authenticity. These are pre-establishing limitation with self-imposed inadequacies, failing in recognizing unleashed characteristics waiting to be utilized. Don't sell yourself short by underutilizing esoteric capabilities. This establishes limitations upon yourself based upon false assumptions. Rather, make a first-hand opinion based upon only known observations. People are the same from whatever the origin. There may bring different cultures expressing their traditional customs, which is great, as we need diversity to grow from a different perspective. Learning should be a goal and objective in doing things differently, establishing improvements of finding efficiencies or effectiveness doing the same task. Our government has made policies and laws establishing limitations on the pre-established failure in the African American community, causing housing, education, equal opportunity, and all other forms of depravity in the economic and social fabric in America. Part 6. An undisputed truth. The most important decision is acceptance of the truth. Mankind lives and exists by the decision we make in this life. Every day of our existence, there are assessments, evaluations, and judgments confronting daily challenges, some large and others small, but all mandating an assessment of risk before we make that plunge, moving us forward or reversing the course of this trek. In making those decisions, a truth is always in our myth of control. However, it may seem to be the rigid and extended route, seemingly not meeting our needs, as they are presently viewed, most of the times being the most difficult route of the choices at hand. The truth mostly always seems in requiring more than we want to give, and almost always less than the quantitative value of a deception. Unfortunately, those views fail to recognize the esoteric cost and misery of a deception or lie. A lie is not placed in your path, revealing its weaknesses and deceit. It is their glowing and enhancing an effortless path, exhibiting the presuming advantages of frenzy, elation, and ecstasy in extended of state elation times, hiding the numerous shadowy obscure places until the placement of the hook is firmly in place with no egress from a pending dome. While entry is always easy, it is the exit bearing the difficulty. Maybe taking a deeper dive into the ramifications of those decisions, using the basis of an absolute truth in our evaluation, might change the course of that decision. A deception has a short lifespan, with a thin veneer of promise, while seemingly straightforward, but with a heavy application of impending risk. We knowingly exist but refuse to acknowledge due to the circumstances initiating this event. Deceit and distort begin with deception but end in defeat. Most people prefer the low-hanging fruit of education and development to be heard and repeated time and time again by new faces or older ones, just as long. These are phrases or scriptures known from memory, not requiring thought or deliberation, refusing to challenge themselves with words or passages of challenges requiring a much deeper view, painting a broad perspective of truth. They refuse to see or hear any subject presented with a possibility of deep thought, with maintained focus in ascertaining a lucid understanding, which may possibly change their pattern of thinking or expansion of their brain, as they do not desire movement from their place of comfort, just resting upon words and phrases handed down from their predecessors. These people will fail to move without unprecedented urging, without some tragic or salient monumental event capturing the attention of the world. Then and only then will they move to discover a meaning of something beyond their present understanding. The world in which we live is a conundrum of changes, requiring adjustments and adaptation. For most, however, the truth has no need for change. The world will come to the feet of truth, as the truth is and forevermore the Father that has adopted all changes to ever occur, creating a place for all changes ever to materialize, which is why it is the truth. First, there must be a desire of movement, ready for change, anything of significance in your search for answers to questions or presentation of a clearer explanation of issues of uncertainty. If this life never moves you to a point seeking something more than what has been given, then the ultimate truth will never reveal itself. It will, but most will not see and totally miss the opportunities of discoveries of advancement beyond their present needs or concerns. There must be something churning inside, seeking explanation beyond the same presented questions and answers. The truth is broad and deep, but sometimes require exploration and examination, a deductive desire for more that has been given. The truth wants to be discovered, consumed, applied, and exploited. It does aspire not want to be hidden and confined. It is paragon of perfection. However, work and effort may be the best ways of discovery, as it is a journey where learning takes place throughout the voyage with verification and confirmation, which are the ways of truth. For those unwilling to place the effort in gaining knowledge with a certification of understanding, the truth is what you seek, providing the additional benefits of love, freedom, and interaction as part of the journey. In some cases, the truth is hidden, purposely keeping people in a certain place, stopping them from knowing what is really available, and altering/transforming and improving the lives of the inhibited captives, thinking they have freedom, but their reality has been subdued and lessened for the purposes of others, using the lives of the captives as uniformed slaves subjugated to specific place with society of lesser opportunities. Their truth is a purposely arranged entanglement of deception, repressing their potential and nurturing their ignorance from available potentials for forward progression above their present status. Everything aspect of man's needs are not easily given. Sometimes the truth requires effort in unlocking its understand and application to freedom. When you seek its knowledge, it will release its secrets to its petitioner. The truth is for everyone, but everyone does not want the truth to be revealed. A seeker of the truth will find its rewards. All others will live within the means of their limited knowledge, filled with deception and oppression. So many people have an expectation of effortless, uninhibited progress without demonstrating the required exertion and determination in achieving an expected, worthwhile result. Such worthy things don't exist. There are rules. If a proper return is wanted, then an exacting amount of alacrity is required. Rarely are there free things of substance, with most having traits of scams and cons, reflecting the obvious deceits of their expected victims, thereby revealing an easy road to diamonds and pearls. Expected results require expected return of effort, with some only discovering later the false narrative of their thinking and actions. It is so easy deciding to take the undemanding, unchallenging, simple approach, thinking a real effort is not required, or there must be an easier way, or the requirement exceeds my capabilities. These are all excuses made by people looking for the easiest route to success. Those waiting will continue waiting. Finally, a realization of truth is discovered, accepted, but with a penalty of time lost, opportunities passed by, with a life remaining of only what-ifs. Either you are fully engaged in life, as revealed in the knocks, bashes and disparages along the hazard escapades of this risky journey, or is your journey only an existence, never fully challenging and embracing life and capturing all this life has to offer, the good, the bad and ugly. We all must endure meeting the challenges of the next day. There must be preparation and planning for the next encounter, being anticipated, probable or totally unexpected. Seldom are there times when all goes as projected, being able to sit back on past performance thinking this is a repeated exercise having unknowns. Therefore, limited effort is necessitated in meeting planned objectives. This is wrongful preparation leading to a disastrous ending. All actions require preparation and arrangement. Approaching life without an assessment and framework of options for risk aversions will be costly, triggering emotional instability and crisis management, leading to dark questions in every aspect of your life, with that familiar question of, why are these things happening? For which there will not be an easy answer for resolution of the issues. Unfortunately, there are some neglecting to observe what things are of greatest importance. Their lives revolve around continuous decades of concerns that are useful, but a repeated rendition of simplistic, rudimentary and elementary notice or concerns, presenting routine age-old questions with one-dimensional solutions, compelling diminutive thought. However, there is a palpable rationale for these activities for which there is a continued audience for these participants, as their similarities are synonymous with almost every other category of what they consider the more important attributes of this life. The truth routinely requires seeking action for a complete response through the use of research, inquiry, and investigative tools, for a thorough and comprehensive query ratiocinate seeking the answer. In doing so, first, you must possess the desire, a yearning, a longing and satisfying that internal quest for the truth, a certain anomalous requirement. For some, this deep internal appetite has not yet matured, igniting a passion of wanting. If these needs fail to cultivate, foster, and expand, you will remain in a place of self-inflicted, impoverished informational destitute, with the greatest sadness revolving in a state of absence of awareness. Restricted informational destitute, the truth directs and propels its audience in spreading their wings in search of the expanding ramifications of the truth for growth and expansion, as this is the way of exercising and creating the freedoms of this life, but will not be discovered until each of us pursues a consciousness of discernment, seeking a reality of completeness and inclusiveness. This is the corridor to freedom in distinguishing, exhausting, and linking all things given for enhancement and expansion. Where is the basis for your truth? Can your truth be corroborated by itself and all things within the universe? Is it being stored for a day of compliance, submissiveness, or obedience? Is your truth declared, or is it waiting for approval and acceptance? Are you waiting for the truth to declare the winner? Is the truth your directive or edict? Is the truth only applicable when providing an advantage? Is your truth waiting for release and discovery? In truth, there is no negotiation, compromise, or debate. The truth stands alone on the merits of its architect and architecture. It is the basis, the foundation, the cornerstone for all things and for all mankind. It will accept any and all challenges. The truth will never deviate, discriminate, diverge, or depart. Genres, genesis, emergence, origination, inception, prescript, threshold. So many of us are only surface thinkers, refusing or unable to think beyond what is presented or their present understanding. This life requires a little analysis and investigation for discovery of the truth to fully understand the issues at hand. Again, there must be an individual determination, prerequisite or necessity in seeking answers and a willingness in proceeding ahead. If not, no resolution will be attained, or at least a timely one. Surface thinkers are their own worst enemies in their total acceptance of their limitations without further consideration of alternative thinking beyond their knowns. They have placed themselves in this blockhouse of the uninformed and refuse to leave and moving beyond where they have ever been. This is universal thinking for them in every category, school of thought, social setting, or political genres. They fail to test, examine, or scrutinize the information they have been given, never knowing the truth, only obscure fringes or total lies for their consideration. Being too submissive is displaying a tendency for weakness, and assertive nature is needed in not believing all that is presented before for your acceptance, requiring review and evaluation and logical thinking in determining the truth. Decision are the contents of your existence, requiring all to be well thought and distinctively planned for all known or calculated future events. Wrong decisions cause egregious, consuming oversights and mistakes, with every decision being possibly elevated over and beyond any expected repercussions. Life has a continuous path and patterns designed as a learning experience for all to discern. These patterns will form links of continued expansion of awareness and cognizance for advancement to the next level. However, the participant must understand this journey is designed for instilling doctrine and preparation, especially for those having anomalous aspirations for expansion combined with a creative spirit of invention, thinking outside the structure of acquired knowledge proceeding to a greater understanding by questioning and not conforming to previous guidelines of information and seeking a better way when there are exposed flaws of misinterpretation or mistake in findings. Clarity must exist in ensuing a vision beyond the realization for insight of an enlargement of the known or prescribing a new direction of radicalized focus of changes or perception of indispensable corrections. The presence of the truth is never subdued or restrained, but may require additional efforts for discovery, yet no deviation from the given path for expansive execution and comprehension. Sometimes our journey has been using a half-truth being used as a guideline furthering exploration into unexplored or unknown areas searching for benefits requiring a creative messenger or forager in disclosing a new and better way. This is where questioning and non-acceptance of previous data is so important. When something is not working, even though others have been using this path of data but not reaching the required results, it is time to think outside the box of known information for extended research for better understanding for forward progression in remedying the problem. While others refuse or disagree with an expanded or new methodology, it requires perseverance and obstinance in making inroads for a new direction and understanding. Progression is not made while maintaining the norm. Action must be taken outside the standard interpretation or assumptions towards sometimes a new reality of thinking and positioning for greater learning, which require extreme measure for extraordinary results. Unfortunately, some are reluctant to move where others fear to tread, while others will take that leap to tread in deep waters in moving beyond the comfort zone, as they understand these directions are only taken by the few. There are few risks in standing with the many. Standing amongst the few require courage and intensity. The truth is unlimited, while still direct. Its breadth and depth is much greater than our limited understanding, which allows for discoveries not yet known and being open for the advancement of mankind. Mankind lacks the mental capacity of thinking beyond the boundaries of truth. It would be an error in thinking the truth has limitation. It is mankind's lack of investigation, due to the ignorance and arrogance in thinking the truth is totally revealed and conquered. In trueness, only the low-hanging fruit has been identified and somewhat understood. The best course of action would be rediscovery for review of all knowns for possible establishment of a broader and deeper comprehension into our weakest areas of interpretation and judgment. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. Just because previous teachings and methods has been used in the past, it does not mean all knowns have been established and defined without unknowns. It is the responsibility of mankind in his continuous effort in understanding the truth, as far as we can go, as the broad width of the truth must be uncovered, disclosing the freedom we all search and desire. This is the true path of mankind in revealing the truth, through love for the release of freedom. For some, questioning their known truth is a careless, ill-founded and ill-advised adventure far exceeding the boundaries mankind has been given through the law, and we should be careful in confusing understanding with deviations. Those people think with a limitation of boundaries, unable to visualize or fathom the truth as beyond the understanding of mankind. However, it is there for us to discover and use for our needs and benefits, but sometimes all things are not so easily learned. It requires effort or view from a different perspective in capturing all that is needed. For this occurrence, there must be a passion, yearning and seeking more guidance and data collecting. There must exist an unextinguishable craving, always necessitating the need in assertive actions, expanding all obstacles, limiting an acquirement of knowledge and direction, and extinguishing the need to go further. For mankind, there are no barriers limiting his progress toward the truth, except his own created barriers. This was a massive continuation from part 4 to part 7. I got carried away with the message and the song played on. Thank you for listening, being a part of this journey in truth. If this was an avenue of travel initiating and saturating an interest of truth, please share with your friend and maybe an enemy and opening a door to a truthful conversation and indulgence, as well as subscribing and taking a liking. Stay tuned for part 7, Freedom Illustrated. Credits. I would like to thank all those in producing videos used in this production: Chris Flatten, Joseph Yulo, Pixabay, Engen Akyard, Nino Souza, Peter Fazika, Los Muertos, Idsman Hifadaz, De Redden, Eric Shelby, Cotton Bros Studios, Ambient Nature Atmosphere, 6, A Drain Jacked, 8, Dan Christian, Ali Reza Akhlagi, George Marina, Kelly, Enrique Torres, Eno El Toro, Ali Mansour, Asansa 67, Rager Stock, Zuraneri Manishville, Jitlin Matthews, German Korb, Davis Ardina,